Hello, my name is Nina Dunn and I'm a Director of the Alternative Future Foundation. As part of Sydney Alternative Investment Suite, I'm joined today by Kris Webster to discuss the Canopy Global Small Mid Cap Fund. Kris, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions just so investors get to know you and your strategy in a little bit more detail. Let's get into it. So give me the high-level pitch of how you describe Canopy Global Small and Mid Cap Fund.
So we invest in a concentrated collection of small and mid-cap companies in developed markets globally. There's three key parts of our strategy you should remember. Number one is it's quality first.
Yep.
And these are stocks actually that go up to US $70 billion in market cap. So they're big, they're high quality. This is not specky small caps.
Yeah.
Second thing is really about we're valuation disciplined. Every stock in the portfolio we expect to deliver double-digit returns over the next 5 years. And finally, we're long-term focused. So we think it's a particular advantage now as the market becomes more and more short-term.
Okay. So you've got this universe of around 7,500 companies, which have an average market cap of around 8 billion. How does your process narrow down that universe to just 25 to 40 companies? And how do you filter out and decide which businesses make the cut?
Okay, so from the 7,500, just getting companies that are big enough and liquid enough, that takes us down to about 2,500. Then we run our quality filters, and that takes us down to several hundred. Now, in terms of quality, what I'm talking about is strong competitive advantages, aligned management teams, and strong ESG characteristics. So we're talking about companies that are typically local leaders or leaders in a global niche.
Okay.
And then from there, usually those companies, high quality companies, are typically pretty richly valued. But from that several hundred, we'll get to several dozen at any point in time that also look really attractively valued. And then from that, we get to a portfolio of about 30 stocks that is diversified across sectors, regions, and thematics.
Okay, well, so what's getting you excited about this segment right now?
Well, typically we think, generally speaking, you're going to do a lot better over time if you focus where other investors aren't. And that's, as the indices get more and more concentrated at the top end, a lot of the small end, the thousands of stocks at the smaller end are getting more ignored. So that's the starting point. And at the moment, even within that small and mid-cap part of the market, you're actually getting really strong thematic focus. It's really getting a bit speculative frothy at the moment amongst things like space and crypto and nuclear. And the things that are being ignored in that are the high quality companies that are starting to look really attractive.
So when we're talking about investing, what's one habit or mindset that you rely on daily that makes you a better investor?
Well, I might invert this and talk about a habit that I try to avoid daily to make me a better investor, and that is focusing too much on daily stock price movements or market movements. We basically think that if you're spending all this time, there's very low informational content and it leads to poor behaviors. Whereas what we should be focusing on is long-term value, long-term quality, and finding new opportunities.
So you're very much taking that long-term view.
That's right, yeah.
So to finish off, if your investment style was an animal living beneath the canopy, what would it be and why?
We think it would be a jaguar. So they've got a very broad territory, which they know intimately well, just like small mid-cap. They are patient and methodical hunters. They're selective in their targets, and they're decisive when they attack.
So you're a predator of the small cap market.
We'd like to think so.
Well, Kris, thank you so much for joining us today. If you would like to find out more about Sydney Alternative Investment Week, please visit sidalts.com.au.